Well, what do you have to say to all the parents and players out there who may be thinking they're good enough to be an ODP player, but still kind of contemplating about is it really worth it or not? What can you say to them to help them understand the program better?
I, I don't know that I need to say anything to them. I think that if you believe you're one of our best players in South Dakota, then you should look and seek out the opportunities to play at the highest level. And that's what we can offer with ODP, because we can play you against the top 18 players from Illinois or Iowa or Nebraska over the course of a 3 to 4 day event. And in addition to that, I can expose you to high-level coaches from D1, D2, D3 programs that are established, that work in the ODP program because they believe in it. And so you get a high level of training. There's a lot of knowledge out there, and there's a lot of specificity of training for position, for team, for continuity, for attack. There's a lot of things that go on, and this is one way that you can experience it. If you're thinking that you want to go to college, if you're thinking that you want to play at another level, I encourage you at least to come out and establish that you're the best player. I don't think you have to believe. I don't think you have to be an ODP. I think it's a good place for you to be. But I certainly would love to. I love hearing kids that tell me that they're the best, and I love them proving me that they are. And I would encourage them to get in to the program or to play with a high-level team so that they get exposure and they get opportunities, because we are a small state and we've got to work hard to get the opportunities that are going to come to us.
How about some of the club teams who, obviously part of ODP is taking the best 3 players off your club and putting them in that ODP team to go on an occasional weekend trip or the camp. What do you have to say to the clubs to allow their players and actually almost encourage them to get involved in ODP?
Well, it's twofold, and it's kind of nipped us in the butt a little bit this year. And I personally, say sorry. I know that there's some people who wanted training sessions, and club teams are, players are gone with their club, and I understand that. So we worked with the clubs, and we're continuing to work with it. We're already working on the schedule for next year and making sure that we get our dates out, that they avoid with the bulk of the club season. The clubs want the program because they know that they need to get their players all kinds of exposure, and that's part of what they do. And so they know the value of the ODP experience. And those leaderships around the state at Dakota Gold and Sioux Falls Soccer understand what they're going to get if one of their players makes a regional team. That means that they develop that player. It's credibility for their organization. So I think they understand what they get out of it, and I think that we understand why we want their buy-in. And it's just really trying to have a hand-in-hand relationship. And it can be done.
Oh, it is done. It's done in lots of states. I know in all the years I've been there and meeting fellow club coaches from around the country, there's in Illinois, for instance, there's a tooth and nails fight among the clubs to see who can get the most players in the state team. I mean, that's a matter of pride for that club.
Sure is.
Hopefully we can get to that level here.
It goes on beyond that. I mean, they want on the regional team. I know there's a bulk of girls out of Missouri that are really good in the 93 group, and I'm sure that Scott Gallagher and Bush want their name out there if they come from their organization. I mean, it's just how it works.
Well, and then they get a chance to move up to that national side if they make the regional team. So.
But the other thing is, from a coaching perspective, if I get to work with a high-level player, for instance, I went down and did my C license, and I got to see Erica Timrat. Now, she was a U17 national player who went to the first ever FIFA World Cup. I got to play against her, with her. I got schooled by her. I got scored on by her. But you know what? I have a new appreciation, and I now know what a player that plays at that level looks like. And it helps me because I can hold my players to a higher standard. So there's such a win-win going on out here, and I hope that more coaches ask to get involved and be an assistant, or come out and watch trainings and do things like that.
There's, it's a big old soccer world out there, and it has a lot to offer all of us if we just go out there and try to get in it.
So. I think so.
Well, thanks very much, Coach, for your comments, and I'm sure we'll have you on soon.
All right. Thanks, Coach.